Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me on Berets and also Mog. Mog's here today. Hi Mog. Mog's so squishy and happy. And even today wearing my cool Final Fantasy 9 shirt. Love it. Anyway, so as you can tell, I'm in a big Final Fantasy mood, and today we're going to be talking about Elena as well as Morgana, now that the units are out and official. 2 units that everybody's already pulled for, so why am I making this video? Well, there's also an announcement to go with it, and that will come at the end of the video. But hopefully you will continue to watch, you know, for all the good news. So let's talk about Elena and Morgana, and to do that, I think we need some music, so I'm going to kick some more Final Fantasy 14 music, and to be honest, this is some of the awesome stuff. So good. Alright, so Elena and Morgana, 2 units that are probably, you know, well, they're both really, really good. That's the short of it. I mean, I'm pretty excited about Elena, just because she is a hybrid unit, and anybody who knows me knows that pretty much my favorite type of damage dealer is hybrids. But JP doesn't do a lot to support hybrids, do they, Mog? Yeah, no, they don't. Jerks. So I'm always happy to see that Global does do a little bit extra to support between Aurora Fravia and now Elena. Looks pretty damn awesome. But Elena's damage output is incredibly high. She's got a pretty great little kit. She has 2 different elements. So I really like it. So let's just talk about Morgana first. Psych. Anyway, so let's talk about Morgana, because Morgana's probably was the bigger wild card coming into this. And yeah, she's good. She's definitely really, really good. But let's just see how good. So her chaining families: Absolute Zero, Chaos Wave, Disorder, and Bolting Strike. So, you know, good amount of chaining families. Empress Signet ended up being, you know, some Evo magic bonus. Increased magic 30% and magic by 20%. So 50% magic and some Evo magic. Really nice little TMR there. Ice water is really nice in the summer, by the way. First Nirvana, again, I've already talked about it. This was a really nice thing, but it gives only 25% magic true dual wield, which is probably pretty sane. It was already like 160 magic rod with a huge amount of true dual wield. Would have been more than a little broken, so yeah, I think First Nirvana is pretty reasonable. Her stats: 218 magic with an extra 65 points put in. Pretty damn nice magically statted. Defense is straight in the toilet, so make sure you're protecting her. Spirit's pretty good though. HP, okay. MP, nice. So yeah, there's that. Her equipment selection's pretty good, even allowing her to equip helmets. Now I'm trying to think if there's a good helmet. I think there is, but I can't. X-Death? Feel like there is, and I'm just forgetting. Looking at her limit burst is, interestingly enough, evocation damage. 35 times to all enemies, increased evocation gauge too, which is pretty good, and also gives her access to Myriad Arcana. Myriad Arcana being, wait, where is it? It's not listed. Oh, there it is. Enable, nope, that's not it. Use Glacial Needles, Storm Winds, Halo Aim, 4 times. So it's just Quadracast. Why isn't it just called, well, I guess flavor text. Anyway, giving her Quadracast for a couple turns, pretty nice, and her limit burst is pretty strong and only costs 35 limit burst crystals, so all in all, it's a pretty good, I think. It's nice to see kind of a summon theme damage. She has dual wielding, she has lots of different stuff, including Evo magic, increasing magic when equipped with a rod, just high magic stats, light and dark resistance, status immunity, 5% MP recovery per turn, HP, spirit, you know, all that good stuff. Counter magic attacks with energy conservation, which has increased the evocation gauge and limit burst. Not only one per turn, but still pretty nice. Autocast Arch Rivals if Elena is alive. If Elena's dead, cast Party Time, I guess. I don't know, it was funnier when I just immediately thought it in my head. Anyway, increase modifier 2 times for all offensive skills except Spectral Cutter, which is kind of interesting, the idea of a rival character that actually powers you up. Like, no, I'm going to do better in this fight. It's a cool thing. I wonder if how well these two work together, though. Arcane Control, just more boost to stats, more boost to stat. Myriad Arcana at the start of battle. HP, autocast Power of Evocation at the beginning of fight, which is increased evocation gauge by 3. So she's a pretty well built little evocationer right off the start that we can see. She can increase her own magic and spirit by 60% while viewing info on the enemy, so that's a pretty nice little scan ability. Glacial Needles, Storm Winds, Halo Beam, and Void Blast are her decreased their respective elements of either ice, wind, light, or darkness, with different also chaining families too. Absolute Zero for ice, Chaos Wave for wind, Halo Beam is absolute 0, and Chaos Wave is dark. Glistening Ice is also absolute 0, but that's one that increases limit burst fill rate for 5 turns to the caster of 150%. Pretty nice. Mirror Arcana, just use 2 abilities in a turn. She has a evoke damage of, which is Chaos Wave chaining, I should say. Crystallized Spikes, which upgrades modifiers for Crystallized Spikes, and Glacial Needle. I need a lot of drinks tonight. My fault. Ate a big Caesar salad. So, salty. Just like some people who won't get this character. Anyway, Storm Gale, Chaos Wave, basically upgraded versions. They give modifiers to themselves and their weaker versions too, which is kind of neat. Every once in a while, you're going to have to go backwards to debuff the element you're doing damage for. So the idea that you can power up that weaker ability, after using it, so you can go back and do the debuff again, is a pretty cool little thing. Arcane Blessing, 150% magic and spirit for 3 turns to the caster, increase evocation gauge. Pretty nice. Equipping her own TMR gives her triple casting, or super TMR, which, why not both? Why not both, Zoidberg says. Elemental Enervation, 100% debuff for her main elements, super nice, and gives her quadricasting for 2 turns. One that gives her increase of evocation gauge of 8, that's a 4-turn cooldown, pretty nice, usable turn 1, since she's going to be using the evocation gauge. Unstable Energy, which causes evocation damage, this is a 4-turn, increases her magic and spirit 200%, and gives her a big modifier that cannot be dispelled. So Global's starting to get into that. And the last, Luminosity and Spectral Cutter, both evocation damage, 1 light, 1 no element, that also give some benefits to themselves. One of them Disorder Chaining, one of them Bolt Striking. I gotta say, I really like Morgana a lot. She is kind of like a just pure damage version of the Beach Fitra, and I absolutely love that. So, yeah, pretty cool little summoner. Give her a big thumbs up. Kind of wish she had her own guaranteed banner, as everybody's pulling for Elena. Not so much for Morgana yet. They'll learn the... I know they'll learn the error of their ways when they understand how great true dual-wield magic is. Suckers! Anyway, Elena ended up with, on the other side, Elena ended up with Bolting Strike, AR Chaining, Stardust Ray Chaining, and Disorder. Pretty good amount. Astrea ended up being a pretty nice little weapon. Has a 1.1 to 1.6 time variance, so pretty nice. That'll only affect physical, not magical, but still pretty good. 50% accuracy. And Warrior of the Crystal, my god, 60% attack and magic, and increase equipment attack and magic 50% and accuracy by 25%. This is when wielding a single weapon. This is true dual-hand hybrid, the thing that JP never got. Congratulations, Global. You are now 1 trillion billion miles better than anything that JP has for hybrids. It's a little sad. Looking at her kit, she has a good amount of HP, good amount of MP. She's got a fairly nice defense and spirit. Her attack and magic, 205 each with an extra 50 points put in, but considering there's damage variance here and everything, she'll be plenty good. Boy, is she a hybrid lover's wet dream. Phrasing! Anyway, Light of Salvation is her limit burst. 40 crystals, sorry. Hybrid damage with a 45 times mod. Increase all stats to all allies for 3 turns of 150%. Increases modifiers for a lot of abilities for 3 turns with a big modifier increase for these abilities. And they can't be dispelled too. So she looks... Her limit burst is very, very important. You kind of want to be using her limit burst right from the get-go with those kind of modifier increases and then constantly be using them as soon as the modifiers go off. Water. Life-giving water. Nectar of the gods. Or nectar of the frogs. Definitely nectar of the someone. She has some natural hybrid true dual wield in her kit right from the get-go. Ice, lightning resistance, boosts limit burst fill rate up, status immunities, more true hybrid stuff. Autocast Aurora Blossom Arts at the start of fight. Enables skills to the caster, Aurora Arts and Blossom Arts. Okay. Sword Adept, you know, bonuses for a sword or great sword. Killers versus demons and humans, probably the 2 most valuable. So, physical and magical evasions, autocast. Arch rivals if Morgana is alive. I'm assuming it's basically the same ability. She has speed of light for equipping her TMR or Secret TMR, as well as more magic true dual hand or hybrid true dual hand, which is just what I'm going to call it from now to make it easier on myself. Recover 10% MP per turn. Increase spirit 20% and increase modifier 8 times for a whole bunch of different abilities. And just holy cow, is she absolutely freaking amazing in her everything. Battle insight, debuff of the enemy, view info on one enemy, hybrid damage of 12 times to one enemy, chain bolting strike, hybrid damage of 6 times to one enemy, remove all status effects from one enemy. Decrease water resistance 50% for 5 turns to one enemy. Add water element. Oh god, she has water on her attacks, lightning on her attacks. I'm just reading all of this stuff now. Hybrid AR chaining. Oh my love. Reset stance, cure all status ailments on herself, and remove stop or charm, but she's not stop or charm immune. I didn't see stop or charm immune. How is she supposed to remove it if she stopped her charm? Someone in the comments, please let me know. Dual casting of a lot of her abilities, or Starlight, dual casting of other abilities. Freezing Innervation adds Ice Element. Luminous Innervation adds Light Element. So she has 4 different elements available to her, which is super nice. Reinforced Stance, which is pretty nice. Aurora Temp. Reinforced Stance, 50% HP, 30% MP back to the caster. Limit burst gauge of 8 to 12 to the caster. Increased limit burst gauge fill rate 200%. Holy cow. Oh, and those elemental imbues also debuff 50% for those elements. But those debuffs aren't super strong. Aurora Tempest, which is disorder chaining, ice lightning, or ice light hybrid damage 18 times to one enemy. Decrease those elements by 50% for 3 turns to all enemies. AoE attack there in case I misspoke. And in your 7-star Wave the Blossom, decrease 75% for ice resistance to all enemies. Mitigate damage taken 30% to all allies. 1000 HP barrier. Increase modifier for a whole bunch of abilities for 8 times for 4 turns. Can't be dispelled. And increase limit burst. Basically just gives her a limit burst. Every 5 turns she's guaranteed a limit burst one way or another. Way of Aurora. 5-turn cooldown, available turn 1. Also gives her a limit burst, gives modifiers to some of her abilities. Increases elemental resistance of fire, ice, light, and dark resistance 70%. Increases her own attack and magic 250% for 3 turns. Decrease light resistance 75%, 3 turns for all allies. And Celestial Guidance, 6-turn cooldown, available turn 1. Decrease ice and light resistance 75% for 3 turns to all enemies. Increase modifiers for Aurora, Tempest, and increase modifiers for Aurora, Storm for 3 turns. Holy cow! Now, I've seen some damage calculations that basically put her in the same kind of category for damage as Xenos, who is basically the most powerful. Long story short, I think that this banner is incredible. Both characters on it, absolutely love them both. Elena is probably the standout, though, just because she's such a huge increase for hybrids. Whoever made this had a deep love for hybrids, and it shows. 2 big thumbs all the way up for Elena. Really love her. And now for the announcement, and Mog's here with us to make the announcement too. So I have absolutely loved the community for Brave Exvius, most of the community for Brave Exvius, for quite a while now. And I have made a lot of videos about Brave Exvius, but into the month of August will be my last month of making any video content for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. That includes all news, reviews, any extra thing that I decide to make. I am going to be officially done with Brave Exvius. And this is a couple of reasons. One, moving into the fall, I am going to be playing other games, not just Epic 7. I am looking at playing a Super Robot Wars as well as a SD Gundam game. So basically, my love for mecha will be shown off again. It's been a while since I've been able to really show how much I care about you, mecha, but I do love you. And we will be talking soon. But also, I will be focusing more on a brand new game, War of the Visions. That will be a new focus for my channel, a new streaming game, and a new content game. So that is going to be the way I am looking at doing things in the future. So for anybody out there who is wondering, yeah, August will be the last month for both JP and global content. I have not decided an exact date for when this will depend on some vacation time that I'm going to want to take in the month of August away from both Twitch and YouTube to refresh. It will also depend when exactly War of the Visions is launching, sometime in August or September for JP, later for global. But it is going to be the thing that I am going to be doing. So I hope you will continue to support my channel, both on Twitch or YouTube. I've weeded out a lot of the less desirables. You're muted, I just haven't told you. And yeah, I'm really excited for all these new games coming in the future. I'm really loving Epic 7 right now, Final Fantasy 14 and everything like that. But as Brave Exvius continues, there's also other content creators out there who are doing fantastic jobs that you should definitely check out. But I really don't want to be still doing this a year from now, like doing the exact same thing, doing only Brave Exvius videos. So even if War of the Visions fails, even if these other things aren't necessarily, you know, your biggest interest, maybe you will be interested to try them out based on my recommendation, and maybe you'll find something new you like. Either way, I very much enjoyed making Brave Exvius content for everybody who has enjoyed it and been positive and supportive. Mog and I absolutely love you, and you know, it's not an ending, it's just going to be a new beginning. So take care, thank you very much for watching. Give a wave, Mog. Yay. And we'll see you guys in the future. Remember, I'll still be making videos into August, but August will be the last month, just in case I wasn't super clear about that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.